myself, Dave Morris, Tony Woods and other people have been here since pretty well the beginning of the strike, giving support we can give. We've been having kind of ad hoc meetings. For example, we had a really good meeting here last Saturday in which a lot of the support things were set up, a lot of the internet, emails, the Facebooks, all that kind of stuff, phone trees, e-lists, etc, etc. Clearly now we were supporting them on the basis of there being an occupation here. That's now changed, but there's still going to be a massive campaign here, and we felt we needed to formalise the way that we were organising the support. People from Haringey Solidarity Group put out this leaflet calling for this meeting. We've organised a meeting for tonight as well, but clearly while everyone's here, it seems logical to have a start talking, start communicating, etc.
No, I mean, if anyone wants to say anything and they can't speak loudly, there's a megaphone here so you can use it, yeah? But, I mean, obviously there's a lot of different groups here, and the Trades Council, Enfield and Haringey Trades Council have called a rally on Saturday at, what time, Simon? 11 o'clock here. That's something we can all work together to publicise and to make sure lots of people are down here to show that the fight goes on. I've drafted up some basic proposals about what a kind of collaborative support campaign can do. Just basics, which I can pass round. I'm going to pass those round. We don't have to agree everything now and discuss dots and commas and all that, but pass them round. Does anybody want to say anything?
Has everybody got this leaflet with the address of where the meeting is tonight? Has anyone not got it?
Let's share one. So
there's a whole series of other things we're going to have to talk about from pass those around as well, yeah. From on Saturday, Tottenham are playing West Ham at White Hart Lane. We're talking about 35,000 people from North and East London. Many of them who want to have an association with Fords will be at that game. It's a massive opportunity at 3 o'clock, massive opportunity to get leaflets out and to do a collection. So we're going to be speaking to the workers who we've got a lot of contacts with now about getting some people down there in the orange coats doing a collection as well. So we'll need support on that as well. But clearly the issue here is going to be in terms of getting people here at short notice for blockades or picketing. So we need to set up some series of trees, etc. as well. Who wants to say something?
Well, I mean, if you're doing picketing, we'll need to have some kind of a rota.
Yeah.
Simon Hester, I was one of the people who organised the Trades Council meeting on Monday night, and I've also been heavily
Excellent
involved
meeting.
Yeah, it was an excellent meeting, and helped to build up the argument about whether they were going to fight on inside or come out. Clearly, the decision to fight on outside weakens the position, but the fight is going to go on, and we've got a lot to do to make sure that they continue to get the support that they've been getting. And I think one of the things that's happened is that they've been hit by a wave of solidarity in terms of food, in terms of money, to keep them sustained, and I'm going to have to keep that kind of thing going. Although there may need to be phone trees for blockades and stuff, the critical element here is going to be making sure that they don't feel on their own. Now, they're going to have to need to feel that they're getting lots of support coming in. So people doing collections of £5, £10, £100 at work is going to make a big difference to them, and bringing the money in is going to make a big difference. Talking to Kevin just a few minutes ago, the convener, I was saying, what's your shopping list? What do you need now? People have gone off now to get some braziers. That's good. But also the practical things they need now. If you've got a caravan and can loan it, bring it. If you've got a tent and it's big enough to fit people in, bring it. If you've got a gazebo with sides, bring it. That's the kind of thing, practical things they need to sustain themselves, which is going to be quite a difficult period now for them, because they're going to be out of the occupation, and all the strong feeling they've had in there is going to dissipate, or could dissipate. And so the continued wave of solidarity coming in is going to be absolutely critical. I think because their stand was so strong and so dramatic and so powerful, that there is a momentum behind the idea of the Visteon workers wherever they are, and that we'll be able to sustain something for the foreseeable future. but clearly the hub is going to be the caravan, or however many caravans there are. That's where things are going to get organised from, and we should make sure that everything we do is pulled into here in a collaborative and cooperative and united way that we can, to make sure that the support is as solid as possible and above all as big as possible, so they can sustain whatever they got going.
Fantastic, thank you. Anybody else want to say anything? I mean, obviously we don't just want speeches, we want practical suggestions. If you want to...
Yeah, talking about extremely practical matters, I've been trying to get hold of a Visteon, and I think we need one more than ever, as the workers are going to be outside. So there's no facilities. I suggest something with a gas-fired one. Yeah, gas-fired Visteon. So if anyone's got one.
Anyone got a Visteon?
Preferably gas-fired.
It's a climate camp.
Yes. So if you've got one, that'd be very useful.
No, it's just to say, so to my mind, my take on what's happened this morning or last night is that there wasn't a vote or anything to leave the occupation. They were just strong-handed by the union, given pretty firm instructions that they will and should leave. To my mind, that's the union hanging you out to dry, taking you from a position of strength into this kind of situation, and everything everyone's saying about how it must continue is right, but this is a broader union issue here. This would have been, and still is, an example to all the other workers in that union who are going to be facing that same situation, but they can't have a situation where the union is going to do this time in, time out. So I think also we need to make sure that where we're in Unite, that union, or where we have access to their members, like the buses, there needs to be pressure coming from all sections of that union saying, we would have supported the workers staying in. We want the standard response from the union to be to defend and openly defend workers when they occupy and keep sending the money in. But I think the union side of things needs to be covered as well as the solidarity.
Have we got any people here from Unite? So we must have, people do have contacts with Unite members, so yeah? Because I think Robin's right there needs to be a campaign. Clearly there were no Unite banners here today at all, which is unbelievable. So Robin said, right, we need to get links into Unite and to get pressure on the union that way as well. So,
yeah, Glenn, if we are going to do, like, they've got a meeting on Tuesday with Visteon. Obviously Visteon are going to hope that they can get away with as much as they can. So I think we need to put as much pressure leading up to Tuesday as we can on Visteon. Glenn's talking about going down the Spurs ground and leafleting down there. I've chucked a bit of paper down here and a pen. If we're going to do this, we need 20 or 30 people. We need to organise it, so we need to get numbers down of people that are coming out. The other thing the workers have always been asking us to do is start leafleting all the Ford dealerships, because as soon as you leaflet a Ford dealership, Ford are getting onto their head office and saying what the fuck's going on. That still needs to be going on quite a lot until Tuesday. So if we can start doing a load of stuff like that, do a lot of work until Tuesday when the meeting comes, find out what happens then, and then we can look at where we go from then. But I think if we can just start putting pressure on them, but we need to set up something where we don't just all walk away and we forget who each other is. So if anyone wants to, just put your number down and we'll take it from there. And there's leaflets here that anyone can take to do the full dealerships.
These leaflets have been approved by the people in the occupation, so people can take a couple of copies and photocopy them.
And they're going round both ways.
It's been updated so it doesn't say that they're in the occupation anymore. So people can pass them round. Take a few. Go on.
Yeah, Adam Lambert from the SWP. The 2 times over the past week we've got groups of workers over to Ford Dagenham, and they've had a really positive response. It's only been small numbers of people that have gone across, but I think we really need to get that going more and more. Possibly really is a daily thing. Really, obviously that depends on people with cars taking people across, but I think if we can have a bit more organisation of that, we've got a leaflet already.
Taking people where, sorry?
To Dagenham. Across to Ford Dagenham.
Nice question. So, what are we asking of people at other Ford plants? Like, are we just asking for collections? Are we, I know there's the black and Visteon parts, but
there is a leaflet that was approved by the people inside, which Adam,
You got any?
Adam's got copies of. We did actually circulate it around the support network email list.
If people aren't on a support email list, can you leave
your email?
I just wanted to say something about the blacking of the parts, because as I understand it, there was a combine meeting with the Ford reps, I think 2 days ago,
Tuesday morning.
and the reps at Ford have said that they support the blacking of parts, and they are going to try and argue it with their membership. Now, that's not very reliable, I don't think, and that's why I think we need to, make sure that all the workers are contacted directly
to their workers directly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a bad sign, so you might need to bypass that layer.
Sorry, you wanted to say
It was just a really quick thing on what you were saying about Unite members, and I think more important really than just the sort of rhetorical position on what the union leadership are about is actually taking collections outside workplaces with Unite members and trying to get Unite members down in the evenings, weekends and so on to visit the people here, because it's that kind of direct rank and file connection. It's that kind of direct rank and file connection that will make the real difference, I think. So I think we need to make sure that we have got lots of collection sheets to take to Unite organised workplaces and systematically collect signatures, support on petitions and money outside those workplaces and try and get people down to here.
I'm just, I'm getting a little bit raggy now, but I think there is a matter of principle that we're here to support these people that are in dispute rather than act for them or tell them what they should be doing. So I do think that obviously we could do things ourselves in our own names, but if we're going to do things in the name of the people here, it's up to them to tell us what they want us to do. So I'm not going to be part of the support campaign that's going to be attacking what they've agreed or what they've agreed with their union. So, but having said that, we've booked a room tonight, and it's on the leaflet that was circulated around. It's near Turnpike Lane Tube Station. It's the Phoenix Millennium Centre, 386 West Green Road, N15. Okay, everyone's welcome there, and we've tried to get collaboration and details sorted out. It's very hard to sort out that kind of stuff here.
Are we trying to be sorting out the rota there?
We'll try and discuss anything like rotas or money or whatever. But we want to be working in collaboration with the people here that are in dispute. Let's make that completely clear, rather than just going off completely our own tangents.
Yeah, I'm Alistair. I've come from Birmingham with a friend to sort of bring solidarity to people here. Just to let people know, we've spent the last few months leafleting the Jaguar plant up there, which is a major employer in the West Midlands, telling workers, but suggesting that striking and occupation is a good way forward. But we've been actually going around workplaces with these leaflets, talking about Visteon to various Unite representatives there, and we're going to be going back to Birmingham doing solidarity collections for Visteon workers. So I think talking to Unite reps is one of the way forwards, one of the ways to help this process.
I just wanted to check I've understood. So they're not in occupation anymore, but are you saying that they're going to try and keep up a picket now?
Permanent picket here.
So is our main job just to sort of be here as much as we can and make sure that there's always a presence?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying?
Presence, money,
One of our main jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a rally here on Saturday at 11. I mean, it's possible at the meeting tonight, if we discuss it in more detail, we might want to call another rally on Tuesday when they're having negotiations. But obviously, as many people can come down here as regularly as possible. It's good.
Do we know where it is, the venue, where they have to get negotiations?
I don't know.
Secret location.
It's secret.
But I think in answer to your question, coming down here and supporting them is and being part of the picket line is one thing. They're not going to go out and do secondary action. That's our job, I think. Like you're saying, full Dagenhams, there's, up on the Great Cambridge Road, there's a place, up in Stamford Hill, there's a full dealership. They're not going to organise going down the Spurs ground and doing collections either. They've got enough on their plates. That's where we can only help them. So I think, there's loads of things we can do.
So what's the point of a picket if they've already left?
Because the factory may wish to take out all the machinery in there. There's two stories going around of what happens now in terms of the factory. One is that that Visteon want all the equipment out of there so they can shift it abroad and open up facility abroad. There is also another rumour that's come from the Basildon picket line. They went to Company's House and they found out there's a new shell company called Visteon Engineering, Shadow Company, and there is a feeling that maybe actually that they want to reopen this factory with new staff on different contracts.
On minimum wages.
So,
which has happened dozens of times.
So either way, there needs to be presence here to stop either machinery coming out or new things going in.
Who, just as a practical thing, who actually, because the car thing is the big issue about getting people to afford Dagenham. If we can know there was like a pool of people who drive, because or people who have cars who are available. That is a really practical thing, because it is quite hard to get from here to Dagenham.
I mean, obviously, it's got to be close collaboration continuously with the picket here, because they will have to come down to Dagenham. There's no point in us just going to Dagenham without people from Visteon. So, but yeah.
It's just running.
But they're quite up for going down there.
I know.
And this is the leaflet we give
not
out,
that,
yeah?
I think we have to recognise there's not actually that many of them. If there's 100 people, they can't cover, dozens of workplaces and public meetings. They're going to get exhausted, and they're trying to maintain a 24-hour picket. So it's not like a dispute where there's thousands of people on strike. So they are going to need a hell of a lot of support to be able to get round places.
Sorry, can I ask another question? Sorry if it's a stupid one, but now that it's a picket rather than an occupation, isn't there a danger that the police are just going to turn up mob-handed and smash it?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of the things that we did a leaflet with some of the workers at the weekend, and they were very frightened of being hit by the police coming in. You're quite correct. It's actually you're more likely to get nicked outside than they were inside.
Yes, we do what we do.
That's where we are. That's where we are.
Just to say, this leaflet is the bulk of those leaflets there are the ones that have been agreed with the stewards here and the occupation.
And they're the ones to give out at Ford's?
No.
Generally?
So is it Adam?
Yeah,
Adam, you got a copy?
I've not got a copy on me, I'm afraid.
But that is on the email list,
It
yeah?
was? It was emailed to the...
To here, Dave. If you, we'll find. We'll get it as soon as
I
possible.
emailed it out as soon as I got it to the whole support list. There's also a website which is visteonoccupation.org.uk, I think, and that should have the leaflets on it.
Yes, that does have the leaflets on it.
And it has all the video clips and stuff that people have done.
Yeah.
Just .org, visteonoccupation.org.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, because there's lots of people from Birmingham as well, but is there anything else we can sort of do nationally? You talked about Ford, showrooms.
Yeah.
Is there any other national kind of focuses?
And I think Ford, anything to do with Ford anywhere in the country or the world, in fact, is fair game, really.
What about other car-related parts manufacturers that are probably facing similar
No,
layoffs?
I think the Ford issue is key, because their whole argument here is that they are still under Ford contracts.
Yeah.
And Visteon's been denying them that. So they're constantly, when people talk about Visteon, they want us to talk about Ford. So their contract with Ford, and they want that recognised. So it is Ford we need to be related to.
Obviously, it'll go out through the National Shop Stewards Network, and if there are local groups who think that they can make an effective action, somewhere in the northeast or the northwest, they'll obviously do that. But to a certain extent, we have to do. We've got all on to keep the picket going and to hit Ford dealership and factories in our area. That's about. If we do that effectively, that would be fantastic.
So for people who don't know, where are these Ford?
Google. You just Google Ford dealership.
Yeah.
Well, they're not just a dealership.
The Stamford Hill is Stamford Hill, and the one just here on the A10 is the nearest.
Again, we did circulate that information, so we could recirculate that. If people get on the support network email list, we can recirculate all the addresses and stuff. So I think we should wind it up. What do you think?
Yeah. I think the detailed organising needs to be done to see.
I think
they've been made up on the hoof to a certain extent. We'll
come along to the meeting tonight at 7. Is it 7?
7 we said.
It's on that leaflet that got taken out. And I have to say, it does make a difference. Support work does make a difference. It's given them a lot of strength. We can do things that they can't do on their own. So it's definitely important to stick in here.
And take as many of these other leaflets as you can away to just distribute everywhere. Okay, nothing else? Cool.
Don't forget the rally on Saturday, 11 AM.
I've got a lot to sort out. Where's the legal stage?